Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. When the Fraternal Order of Police was asked to do this by Michelle, I was more than happy to do this, and let me tell you why. She is an endorsed candidate by the Connecticut State Fraternal Order of Police, and we don't take that lightly. We look for candidates that are, A, going to be supportive of the police. Now, in the city of Danbury, we can certainly use some improvement in that area with our state reps. I do not want to be confused with Pat Callahan, I know is here in the audience somewhere, state rep Pat Callahan. Let me tell you what, if the idea is to get more people like Pat Callahan up here, him and Steve, when I'm together with Steve Harding and Pat Callahan, these are my go-to guys. Because quite honestly, I have no one else I can go to when it's about law enforcement issues and laws. And these guys have fought hard and done everything they possibly can. But we need to get some even numbers out here, and I think Michelle would be the ideal candidate for this. I mean, let's think about some of the things that are happening now. This next election is going to define the future of Connecticut, folks. We are going in a direction with crime. Now, I know everybody has seen the latest ads and the latest news articles that are saying, oh, crime is down in Connecticut. Those numbers they're talking about are from 2020 to 2021. That is not reflective of the last 9 months. So, if you think you're safer today than you were in 2020 with the numbers they're touting, that's absolutely not a fact. We are losing catalytic converters in this state faster than the companies can produce them. And why is that? Why is there an uptick in crime? And I got to tell you, we've been pretty lucky here in Danbury. In Danbury here, we haven't seen as much of it in some of the other sections of the state. But one of the upticks is that you can't go to the New Havens, the Bridgeports, the Hartfords, without seeing crime rampant all over. You know, we had a robbery right on the street of Greenwich. These are the things that are occurring now, and everyone wants to know, why is this uptick in crime? Look, quite clearly, it was a Democratic-sponsored police accountability bill, and it never should have been named that, because there's not much in that bill that holds police accountable. That bill was geared more towards keep a criminal out of jail. That's what they should have named that bill. It impeded police across this state, their ability to go out and do their jobs. There's many aspects of that bill that people want to know. Why is there more fentanyl on the streets? Why are there more guns on the streets? Why are there more shootings on the streets? Well, the FOP can tell you why. The reason is, one of the things now when a car stops, I can't talk to the passengers. That is now against the law. The passenger, I can't interview him. I can't see what he's doing. He may have the gun. He may have the drugs. He may be wanted for a homicide. I'm never going to know because I can't deal with him now. I have to focus on the driver because that's what the law says. That passenger gets a free ride out now. And there's another 100 aspects of this law that is absolutely horrendous. Obviously, losing qualified immunity, now you can be sued for anything. Looking at traffic stops, they were well down. Every aspect of the proactive law enforcement was killed the day that bill was signed. And the Democrats were proud of that. The question is, what can we do about it? Well, the Republicans, and Pat is here, he sponsored a couple bills that would have repealed, changed. Look, don't have to get rid of all of it, but I remember when the Democrats called me when it was being signed, and they said, look, we know it's a bad bill, but we have to rush this through at 5 a.m. in the morning within a 1-week period, instead of taking the time to do it right. But don't worry, we're going to change that. Well, then, when the time came to change it, they said, no, we're not talking about it. And that bill has stayed intact with no changes. We need people like Michelle who's going to step up, because the Republicans have already committed to, if they were to take the majority, they would repeal that bill. I think that is the only way that is going to put Connecticut on a correction course to become safe and go back to where we used to be. That is what's needed to be done, but we need people with intestinal fortitude that'll stand up and do that. And Michelle Coelho is one of the people that would do that. That's why I'm proud to have endorsed her, the FOP. I'm proud to be here today. I'm proud that all of these people turned out. That's a great crowd for her. Let's move forward in the state of Connecticut. Let's keep people safe in Connecticut. And let's get Michelle Coelho elected. That being said, I would like to bring up our Honorable Mayor, Dean Esposito, at this time.
Thank you very much. John, thank you so much. And you know John's on the front line. John speaks from experience. John's one of our finest officers here in Danbury. And as we all know, Danbury is one of the finest departments in the state, and the numbers speak for itself. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. The FOP, great decision. The obvious decision. I mean, for me personally, when I received their endorsement, it was one of the best days of my life, because there were so many Danburyans that were on that force in the past, present, and hopefully in the future. It was an outstanding day for me. Thank you, Al. And there's one of them right there. You couldn't ask for a better endorsement, and it just made me feel so proud that they had the confidence in me to continue working for them, because they've done what they had to do for us, putting their lives on the line each and every single day. We all know what police officers do. And to restrict them from what they have to do and the quality of their work, it's just not acceptable. You know, I've got to know Michelle the last couple of years. She ran, she's a Board of Ed member, and you know, I see every day that Michelle steps up and does what she has to do. It might not be the most popular thing in the group. She's taken some flack over the last few months, stepping up and speaking up with finance and different issues regarding the Board of Ed. And that's one of the things that really makes me proud of her and makes me feel good that we got solid representation there at the Board of Ed. So now we're at a point where Michelle's going to step up, utilize her experience over the last few years, and work to get become our next senator. I can't tell you how proud I am, Michelle, of how you've stepped up, brought the message to the people, and give the people the opportunity to see what real representation is about. It's not about building a career. It's about representing people. And I see that in Michelle. She represents the people every single day as a Board of Ed member, and now as a candidate for this position. She stepped up. So I ask each and every one of you to support Michelle. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to anybody you can that will be there for Michelle as we are. I know I have a few guests here from New Fairfield. Michelle's district runs into New Fairfield and Ridgefield, and I want to thank you all for being here today, because you've got it right. Michelle is the future of this community, the future of this state seat, and we need her to provide us with good, solid representation that really is working for the people of this city, the people of those other towns. It's not about building a career. It's not about keeping unions happy. It's about getting the job done. So it's my honor today to introduce Michelle Coelho, our next state senator.
Good evening, and thank you all for joining me here tonight. Thank you to Mayor Dean Esposito, John Krapinski, former state senator Mike McLaughlin, current state representative Pat Callahan, and to the press for covering this event, and of course my family and friends who support me endlessly. But most of all, I want to thank our police, especially those who are here to support me today. I stand before you very appreciative and even more humbled person. Appreciative to be able to stand up and support our men and women in blue. Those who put their lives on the line every day to protect us and keep us safe. I'm humbled to receive the endorsement and support of the Connecticut State Fraternal Order of Police. It is by far the biggest honor of all. I urge all citizens living in our community to join me and support the men and women in blue. I am proud to stand with local law enforcement and support common sense solutions to keep our community safe. I will never abandon our police. When elected and given the honor of serving the people in the 24th District, as your next state senator, I will work to pass policies that strengthen and respect rather than vilify and undermine our police. As soon after I am sworn in, I will revise the Police Accountability Bill, which my opponent sponsored and gladly voted for. This bill took away qualified immunity and tied the hands of our Connecticut law enforcement personnel. Officers that are trying to do the right thing should not be at risk of losing anything else. Just when we should be talking about how to better equip and support our police, our current state senator seeks to defund them, making it more challenging and effectively perform their duty. I stand with the police, and yet my opponent took the endorsement from the Working Families Party, which in its core demands that the police be defunded. My opponent is a defunder. The Police Accountability Bill has decimated law enforcement. The recruiting and retention challenges are real here in our district. We need to ensure that our police officers are well compensated and provided the best health care possible. Democrats, independents, Republicans, unaffiliated voters all want safer communities. That's what I hear every day. People are afraid to park their car at the mall in fear that they will have their catalytic converter or car stolen. When Julie Kushner sponsored and voted in favor of the Police Accountability Bill, she made our neighborhoods less safe. As a mother of 3 and a proud member of the Board of Education, I will continue to support and build a stronger relationship between law enforcement and our students to ensure we provide a safe and friendly learning environment. That also, starts with parental consent and choice, which is why I'm a strong advocate for the Career Academy and bringing much needed state-funded public school to Danbury. We deserve both. Better schools and education choice make our communities safer. Julie pulled the state funding for our public charter school. My opponent also received an F grade from the Connecticut Business and Industry Association. This directly impacts our business community and overall economic growth and safety in our district. To make matters worse, my opponent, as our current state senator, recently accepted an award from the Communist Connecticut Party. By doing this, she turned back on the ideals that made this country great. My family fled Cuba and the ravages of communism. This is just one example of how different we are. From now until Election Day, I will be making the case to all voters why it is time to replace my opponent. Anyone who wants a safer and more affordable state can count on me. I will work to protect our citizens, not our criminals. It's time to change course. It's time to rewrite the narrative. That's why I'm running, and I'm asking for your support and your vote. Please join me on November 8th and vote for a better direction in the 24th Senate District. Thank you for coming here tonight. God bless our men and women in blue. Muchas gracias a todos. Y por favor, votan. Gracias.